I've got an oscilloscope here and just doing a comparison of the peak values on an AC waveform from the mains, and then comparing that to the RMS or root mean squared value of that waveform. So this is taken in New Zealand, and here we run on a RMS value from the mains of 230 volts, and I'm just using a small step down transformer here. We'll measure the RMS voltage, and then we'll compare it to the peak value, and the RMS value from the peak value is 0.707. So over here I've got my multimeter set up for AC volts. I'm just going to measure the voltage here. Let's try and get the voltmeter into these terminals, and see if I can do it without shorting it all out. Okay, so I'm reading there an RMS value of 12.09 volts, what I'd expect to get. So basically it's a 230 volt to 12 volt AC transformer, stepping down from 230 to 12 volts. So now looking at that value on the oscilloscope, you'll see there I've got my voltage range. I'm on channel 1. My voltage range is 5 volts per division, and if you come up there on the positive going peak, you'll see I've got how many positions have I got? 1, 2, 3, so that's 15 volts, and then it's about 2 volts or so over that, which is about 17 volts as my peak value positive going, and the same will be on my negative going half cycle as well. So we'll just calculate that out. And so down here on my calculator, what have we got there? 12 divided by point. See, it's 12.09, wasn't it? 12.9. Just double check that value again. What do we get there? 12.09, that's right. So 12.09 divided by 0.707 gives me a value of about 17.1 volts, which is probably about what I'm measuring there. If you look at the scale there, if I just move it across a little bit, see if we can get a better reading there. Just give me a chance to move it across a little bit. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that value about that. So near enough anyway for this. Okay, now let's look at the frequency. So the frequency on 50 cycles here in New Zealand, the period should be 20 milliseconds on 50 Hertz. So let's just bring it back here to start my cycle at 0, just on the crossover of my X and Y axes. And I'm looking there at 4 divisions, and my value here per division is 5 milliseconds per division, and so 5 times 4 is 20 milliseconds, and that value works out at 50 cycles per second, or 50 Hertz. So just a little setup there to just demonstrate the RMS, root mean squared value, AC, measuring on the multimeter, which measures RMS values, and then using the oscilloscope to compare for the peak or maximum values, and also to double check on the frequency of the supply, and by calculation here as well. So thank you for watching. It's John here from Auckland, New Zealand, and look forward to catching up with you in a later video.